Hello everyone, let me introduce myself. My name is Maria Devita Arya Maharani. I'm from Diplomatry English Department Undiksa Bali. Today, I would like to explain about the Unit 2. It is about content and style of the letter. So everyone, without any further ado, let's begin. So everyone, for the first is length. All correspondence should be long enough to explain exactly what the sender needs to say, and the receiver needs to know. You must decide how much information you put in the letter. So everyone, if you write the letter, fax, and email, the right length is neither too short nor too long. Next is order and sequence. As well as containing the right amount of information, your letter should also make all the necessary points in the logical sequence. Do not make a statement, switch to other subjects, then refer back to the point you made a few sentences or paragraph before. Next is planning. Before you start writing, you should make a planning. Ask yourself what the purpose of the letter is and what response you would like to receive. Note down everything you want to include before you start writing. Then read your notes to check that you have included all the necessary information. As you can see in this slide, this is the one example, the plan for the letter. For the first paragraph, it is about the acknowledged inquiry, and then for the second paragraph, it is about the price list and enclosed catalog. For the third paragraph, it is about the draw attention to watch suitable for a run and latest designs. For the fourth paragraph, it is about the mention guarantees and reputation. For the last paragraph, it is about the encourage further contact. For the first paragraph, generally speaking, you would thank your correspondent for their letter. If necessary, introduce yourself and your company, state the subject of the letter, and set out its purpose. And then for the middle paragraph, the main part of your letter will concern the point that needs to be made, answers you wish to give, or question you want to ask. In the middle paragraph, planning is most important to make sure your points are made clearly, fully, and in a logical sequence. For the final paragraph, it is at the end of your letter. If it is a reply and you have not done so at the beginning, you should thank your correspondent for everything. The next is about style and language. For the first is simplicity. Write very simple language in your letter so that the receiver can understand the language. And then the next is courtesy. Your style should not, however, be so simple that it becomes rude. The next is idioms and colloquial language. It is important to try to get the right tone in your letter. This means that generally speaking, you should aim for a natural tone, avoiding language which is too informal or colloquial on the other. As you can see in this slide, this is the example of inappropriate form and prefer alternative. For the first example of inappropriate form is you have probably just, and then the next is you will get your money back, and then next is prices are at rock bottom, and then the last is prices have gone through the roof. For example of preferred alternative is you are probably aware, and then the next is prices are very low, and then the last is prices have increased rapidly. On the whole, it is better to avoid using colloquial language or slang. The next is clarity. For the first is abbreviation and initial. Abbreviation can be useful because they are quick to write and easy to read. But if you are not widely known the abbreviation and initial, you should have not to use it. The example of initial is NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization, UN, United Nations. The next is numbers. Numerical expression can also cause confusion, like decimal, point, and comma. As you can see in this slide, this is the example of American people write numbers and French people write numbers. There is different. For the American people write number is 4.255. And then for the French people write the numbers is 4,255. The next is preposition. You must know the difference of prepositions such as to, by, from, at, in, between, and etc. The next topic is accuracy. For the first is spelling. Be careful for spelling, punctuation, and grammar, because if you make spelling mistakes in a letter, it can give reader a bad impression for you. The next is titles, names, and addresses. Spell your correspondent names correctly. Nothing creates a worse impression than misspelled name, and write their address accurately. If you do not know your correspondent, do not assume that they are one sex or the other. You use dear sir or madam rather than dear sir or dear madam. If you know a correspondent name but not their sex, you use Mr. or Miss for example like dear Mr. or Miss Baron. The next is references. Quote all reference accurately so that it is immediately clear to your reader what you are writing about. And then the next is prices, measurements, and etc. Special care should be taken when quoting prices or giving specifications such as measurements or weights. The next is enclosures and attachment. Always check that you have actually enclosed the document you have mentioned in your letter and your email. When ordering, make sure you quote the order number correctly, especially in international trade where mistakes can be very expensive in both time and money. Next is I would like to tell you about the point remember if you write the letter. Number 1 is include the right amount of information, and then next is plain before you start writing, and then next is use a simple but polite style of language, and then the next is do not use colloquial language or abbreviation that your reader may not understand. And then the next is accuracy is important. And then the last is check what you have written when you have finished. So everyone, that's all my explanation about Unit 2. Thank you for your attention and goodbye.